And it says we are live, of course. I'm here. You're beautiful. Tessa's barking. It's Thursday night. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe while you're at it, my baby. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I am either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube at any time and become a channel member. Though, to be fair, I've been meaning to get some stuff up for channel members and patrons. And after last Wednesday when we did the live show, I talked about how Starscream wife was sick and how I had managed to avoid said sickness. And then Thursday, it struck me. So the last week has been rough. I'm not going to lie. Tomorrow, there will be a review going up. There is a section that's about a minute or so long where I honestly, I don't have it focused. I have a note in there that went out of focus, and honestly, I didn't care. I did not enjoy what I reviewed tomorrow. I start off with such enthusiasm, but by the end of it, it doesn't go that great. I'm not going to lie, it doesn't go that great. I'm sure that being sick had something to do with it as well. I'm getting on the mend now, but if I cough or if you hear my voice sound a little bit different, such is life, right? Starscream wife is pretty much on the mend, which is good. You may have heard Tessa there. Our supper is actually arriving. So everybody else is going to eat that. I'm going to eat it after I do the show with you guys. We have a bunch of news to cover. We're going to do this week's unboxing. And hopefully we're going to have a good time. Hopefully we are going to have a good time. I hope you guys are having a tremendous week, of course, in both Canada and the U.S. Last weekend was a holiday weekend. So I hope you enjoyed your holiday weekend. Unfortunately, for our anniversary and for our holiday weekend, we were both sick and in isolation, but such is life. Luckily, there's a lot of summer still to go. So we'll make the most of it, right? We'll make the best of it as we go. I'm just going to get things here slightly set up, and then we will get going. Just bear with me here ever so slightly while I get set up. Hey, Ultramarcus. Must be kind of late over in your neck of the woods now, buddy. Let's see. Weekend is almost upon everybody, which is great. Today was 100% stop motion. That's what I did all day. From when I got up and had my first morning coffee until about an hour before we came on air, it was all working on the season finale of Universal Collision. Long story short, through season 2, we have seen the journey of Rodimus and his group, Optimus and his group, Nova and his group, and Sentinel and his group. They're all coming together at the coordinate space where Cybertron should be. Cybertron is not there. The planet Oricris is, which is a biological planet. Megatron is also guided there by the Fallen, and the Fallen informs him that the reason you've come here is so that you can go to basically the heart of this planet and pour out Unicron's essence from the Matrix of Chaos, thereby destroying the Oracle and making this planet Unicron's brand new body. So will the Oracle survive? Will Oricris survive? Will the Primes get there and kind of free Primus and turn that planet back into Cybertron? Will it become Unicron's new body? We're all kind of coming in there. Plus, on the planet's surface, there is a war that's being waged with all of the Autobots, Decepticons, Maximals, and Predacons. And we also have a number of Dinobots and Maximals who have been captured and are imprisoned. So they hopefully will get released. We'll see. There was a lot going on in season 2, and the way that I had written it, the way I had weaved it, is that season finale has a lot happening. Season 3 and 4 will be smaller, but these are going to be pretty large. I'm not going to lie. These are going to be pretty large. So I am back working away at it. Hopefully sooner than later, we will have the season finale. Let's see. Hey, Prince. Hey, Jay. Hey, Lee. Hey, Brian. Caldeo. Manitoba, and Blue. Happy to see you guys all here, my friends. I actually really appreciate the Universal Collision breakdown. Well, here's the thing. Because I know it's been such a long time, too, when we kind of start, as you watch the episode, you'll see certain things get sort of touched on and re-explained and whatnot as we go through. Like, for example, I think it was episode 11, Starscream says, like, he'll kind of lead the ground forces, right? Sort of in conjunction with Overlord and Bludgeon. But that's not really his plan. His plan is to kind of just sit back and let things fall apart until Megatron makes a specific request. And that request ties to G-Axis. And if you're wondering how a request ties to G-Axis, there was a bonus episode before the season started where G-Axis basically hired Lockdown to kind of find a device that belongs to him. Well, that device is going to be a key thing in the season finale. So there you go, right? There's a lot. Like I think big. What can I say? But there is a lot, and I owe it to you guys to make sure that it ties together in the end, right? Especially before we move on to season 3, which will be much cleaner. Spoiler though, season 3 will have a lot of combiners. Okay, so how about we get into the show, shall we? Let's get into the news. There is a ton of it to cover that came out this week. First things first, we had from Squeezelings Minifigs. They released basically these chibi-style little blind bag figures of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream. They kind of have the little super deformed head. They're the evergreen design. To me, the evergreen design largely means like Cyberverse-ish design. It's not exactly Cyberverse, but that's what it puts me most closely in the mind of. It's not exactly Cyberverse, but it's definitely what puts me closest in the mind of it. If you're into like the super deformed minifigs, then cool, I guess. Get those if you like them. Transformers Heavy Metal, which was supposed to be a Transformers mobile game much akin to Pokemon Go. It has been shelved. It has been canceled. It will not be happening. The company, which is Niantic, I believe, is the company that created Pokemon Go. They have not been able to replicate that same success since. So it looks like that company's probably on some shaky ground. Heavy Metal has been canned, unfortunately. I don't know. Are mobile games still a thing? Like, I've never played any of them. I'm not a mobile game guy. I think I played like, what was it? Flow. I think I played Flow for like a couple of months, maybe 2 dots. That's how far back I'm going. I don't know if mobile games are even still a thing. I'm not going to lie. But if you are a fan of mobile games, sorry. That's, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. What else do we have? Cosmos, the Velocitron Cosmos. I saw it and everybody was sending me pictures and stuff. And I said, yeah, okay, it's fine. I love the Generations one or the Titans Return one. And I know a lot of people said, yeah, but that's stylized. I get it. And this one is less stylized. But what kills me is the beautiful yellow paint on the arms. And then the legs are this, I don't know, like washed out, pale yellow. I wasn't a fan of the yellow mismatch. But then I saw something that did catch my interest. That there is engineering here that comes from the Buzzworthy Origins Bumblebee. And as much as I don't like the character of Bumblebee, I love the Origins Bumblebee. I think it's a fantastic Bumblebee. I really do. So knowing that there is shared engineering with that and this, it very much kind of catches my attention more, makes me think, there might be something worthwhile here for me. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great Cosmos. The way that they've managed to work a range of motion in the arms is really, really special. And I do think that there's enough to him more than the Generations that, you know what, he probably is a deluxe because he is significantly bigger than the Generations. My thought was just I don't think I really need it. I'm happy with the Cosmos I got. Now, that being said, maybe I will get this one if I see it. Because I do like the Buzzworthy. That's a big selling point to me. You know how I didn't like the fact that the Tarantulas was going to have shared parts with Black Arachnia? Luckily, that's a very minimal part. Well, as much as I didn't like that, I like that Cosmos is going to have shared parts, basically, with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, because I think that worked out great. Maybe I will get it. Luckily, I have Scrounge if I still want to kind of have a version of the mold, and one of the scraplets will probably be able to inherit my other Cosmos if it comes to that. I don't think I'm going to go like breaking the bank or trying that hard. I mean, it's Velocitron, so it's going to be Walmart exclusive. I don't know if it's ever even going to come here. If it happens my way, cool. I'm not going to break myself to look for it, but if it happens my way, yeah, I think I will get it because I like the mold it's based on, if that makes sense. I still don't like the yellow mismatch, but yellow's such a, dag-nab hard color to work with, hard color. By the way, I mentioned last week, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, that there was going to be a Haslab GI Joe thing coming up. I guess it was going to be Rolling Thunder, maybe. Wrong. It was the His Tank, and the His Tank for the 6-inch classified line. So, I mean, it's going to be fairly big because those are fairly big. I think that there's a lot of neat features to it. For the price, I think it's a bit high. Maybe with all of the things unlocked, it'll be okay. I'm not into the 6-inch line anyway. I'm not really into the vehicles anyway. Like for the 3 3/4 collector like myself, I don't know. Like, I mean, the kind of retro or whatever vehicles were released, I didn't pick up any of those. I don't need the vehicles, but for anybody who does, His Tank is a classic. It is like one of the most iconic vehicles in GI Joe. Certainly one of the most iconic for Cobra. So I think it's cool. I don't know if in the end it'll be worth the $300, but maybe it's interesting to watch. It did get funded super duper fast, so the GI Joe fans are definitely on board and behind this being made. So a lot of people said it is Haslab done right. You're giving people what they want right off the bat. I don't know, but I think it looks neat, and I think the interior looks really cool, both in terms of the cockpit and the I guess like the troop section, and I'm getting a kick out of all of the memes that have been created of like things include, like I saw one earlier with the like stripper pole that the gold-headed Destro can use. Like, it was a joke, but like I did get a chuckle out of it, right? I thought it was funny. I did. I thought it was pretty funny. What else do we have? The Koto Bukia Bashijo. I don't know how to say these Japanese words. I'm not the Japanese guy. I'm not a big fan of like this culture. But apparently Bishujo is like pretty girl. And we saw a whole bunch more pictures of the Optimus Prime. We know that the Megatron is coming. They also have said and shown the Bumblebee, and apparently there's going to be, I think, a Starscream and a Soundwave as well, and I think another one. I'm not into this, so I'm not really following it. I think it's creepy, personally, that you're doing. I know that it's an art thing. I know people like it, but when you take these like characters from my childhood and then you scantily clad them and give them all these curves, I don't know. It's not like with Nicey. Like, I appreciate the design. I appreciate the paintwork. I appreciate the effort that went into it. But I think that the whole mentality behind its existence is a bit gross. That's just me. That's just a personal thing for my moral code. It's not for me. I can't say much about it. I mean, it's painted well. It's sculpted well. And that's the most I can say. But I don't feel good looking at it. I don't feel good looking at it. But that's just me, to each their own. Something I do feel good looking at, however, is the tense gritty, the tense integrity, whatever it is. Those floating stands. There's a Decepticon one and an Autobot one that's coming. The Decepticon one is always shown with Starscream, the premium finished Starscream, I believe. With the Autobot one, I think that there's an Optimus coming with it, which is actually the Optimus that is the like inner cab of the Ultra Magnus, except now it's not painted in the white colors, it's painted in the Optimus colors. And apparently it's not the inner cab of the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. Apparently it's the inner cab of Ultra Magnus painted in Optimus Prime colors. So if you want an Optimus that uses that cab of Ultra Magnus, I don't know, get the stands, I guess. The stands look cool. They're a nice display piece. I don't know what they retail for, but they're a nice display piece. Coming from Takara, Gonna guess that they're expensive. New Age. Speaking of Ultra Magnus, New Age showed off their red Ultra Magnus, which is basically supposed to be a Hate Plague version of Ultra Magnus. Ah, man, they're getting a lot of use out of that mold. New Age isn't, I tell you, everybody talks about Hasbro doing all the repaints and stuff, and they've done it since G1, but I tell you, New Age doesn't mind doing it either. How many times now have they repainted that Ultra Magnus? I think there's a yellow one and a clear one, and now the red Hate Plague one, and I think there's a golden lagoon one, and there's probably, I think there might be like one like the animation, the one that's painted the colors of like the G1 toy. Like there's a lot. Speaking of which, they're Devastator. I mean, it came out. It was highly regarded by some people, although there's a lot of parts forming to it. Now they're doing a G2 kind of orangey, yellowy version, and they're doing a toy accurate version with like the yellow eyes and the different Devastator head and stuff, right? So I don't know. Like if you've got one of these Ultra Magnuses, do you really need all of these other colors? Maybe you do. Maybe you really want to Hate Plague Ultra Magnus. I don't know. Same with the Devastator. If you have the first one that came out, do you really need the G2, or maybe you prefer the G2? You know, I don't know. Like I don't knock them for it. Why not? If the market's there and you think it'll sell, give it a try. Why not? But I don't know how like necessary it is. We'll say. Now that being said, the Hate Plague Ultra Magnus is going to be exceedingly limited. It is going to be limited to 50 units. I believe it's going to be done like as a lucky draw in China through their Weibo account. I think that's what's called Weibo. So I don't know if it's even possible to get this outside of China. It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. What else do we have here? Metalgate's Haiku. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is their version of Age of Extinction Drift. We saw a great like prototype, and it had done all three modes, and it's a very, very clean Bugatti. A very clean, well-articulated, or looks to be well-articulated robot. And then its weakest mode, the most iffy one that looked like a bunch of junk put together, was the helicopter. However, when you put the colors together with it, the helicopter, as weak as it still is, honestly, the helicopter looks way better with the colors. Like you can see, like, okay, yeah, that looks like a cockpit. That's along the side. There's a lot of junk along the side and whatnot. Okay, that's the back coming out. Like it has all the things that a helicopter should have. It's just it doesn't do it elegantly. The colors, however, greatly help it. Greatly help it. TFCon. Let's do a couple of TFCon notes. We have a couple of exclusives up and coming. They'll be available at TFCon. They'll likely both be available through ages 3 and up. One is what seems to be a G2. I'm going to say a G2 groove. I don't know. Is the yellow groove G2? Can somebody confirm that for me? That yellow groove is G2. I don't know. But they are also doing what seems to be a shattered glass. Hold on. Optus Promenon. Basically, it is Optus Pexus or Optus Nox. Both are known to be tremendously good. Like amazingly, astonishingly good. Well, take Optus Nox or Optus Pexus, painted purple, give it a bit of a cape, and you got, boom, Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, done with that mold. I think it looks stupendous. I wouldn't really be in for the yellow groove, but man, oh man, if I was going to TFCon, I might be in for that, you know? I don't think I'm going to order it from ages 3 and up, but I can't blame one soul on this planet that would get it. MMC, they make nice products, really nice products. And Optus Pexus, Optus Nox, they have been well received, very renowned. I can't see any reason why this Shattered Glass version would be anything less than amazing. Let's see. Velocitron Override. It's very funny. If you saw the clip leading into tonight, or you saw the show last week, I said that I bet that the Velocitron Hot Rod is going to be a reuse and some remolding from the Velocitron Override. And then we saw some design stuff come up where the original plan was to reuse the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, certainly the lower body and back end of the car of that, and with a couple of molds, do the upper body as a bit of a stylized version of none other than Override. But then apparently Takara got involved and kind of said, yeah, no, we don't need to do that, and kind of worked their Cybertronian magic to come up with like a really proper override. Now, I think that was smart. As I've said many times, the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod is in no way, shape, or form on any planet at any given time in history or in the future a Voyager. It's not. You can lie to yourself all you like, but it's not. Nothing will ever make it a Voyager. Hasbro can lie to themselves. They can lie to you, but it's not. So using that and calling it a Voyager for the Velocitron set, I don't think would have worked. And honestly, I'm not sure that Walmart would have been on board with it. I do think, though, that doing what Takara did and managed to redesign this, apparently using 4 molds, I think that she's big enough that she might actually be Voyager. I've said that. I think that the way that they actually did it was the smart choice. And I think it opens the door to doing like a more proper version of a Velocitron hot rod that I feel in my gut is going to be more IDW inspired, something along the lines of what Flame Toys did, something along the lines of what MMC did. I think that's the sort of hot rod that's going to be coming. I could be wrong about that, but man, that's what I feel in my heart of hearts. That's honestly what I feel in my heart of hearts. So I think it was a good design choice moving away from that 86 hot rod. I already talked about that. Speaking of cons, SDCC, Icon Heroes is going to have a 24-karat gold-plated pin set. That's going to be an exclusive for them at SDCC. And at SDCC, there's going to be a Hasbro panel for new reveals. And Evan, the designer guy, he's going to be part of it. That will be happening 1 to 2 p.m., I assume Eastern Standard Time, I would guess. So, you know, if you want to see that on the 21st of July, check it out. Because it's a Thursday, I can guarantee you that we will be talking about the reveals from SDCC just a few hours later, right here on the live show. So you're going to get a lot of times, like a lot of people will do like immediate reactions and all this. And you know me, I save it all for the Thursday night show, right? Whenever the news comes out, I don't pop on with a 2-minute video of here's the thing that was shown. I save it here so I can give you the real meat and bones, meat and potatoes of it, right? Well, when the 21st of July comes, that evening, we will talk about it for sure. So there you go. That should be a good time right there. I'm going to check in with you guys before I go on with the rest of the news, because I know you guys have been talking. Let's see what you guys got to say here. I know I have to go up. And if you've been saying stuff and I've missed it, I apologize, man. Let's see. Gotta go up here. Hey, Marcus. Happy to see you here, buddy. What? Me holding 2Com on a stick. What am I? You missed the first part of the news and a kind of an overcap, so to speak, of where we are going into the finale of Universal Collision, right? Everything's coming together at Oricris. And at the end of the day, is Oricris going to remain Oricris, a biological paradise that the Maximals and the ancestral Predacons lived on in peace, along with some of the Predacons? Is it going to be the conduit to allow Primus to escape the void of nothingness, Primus and Alpha Trion to escape the void of nothingness and take its proper place once again in the stars? So basically, is Oricris going to become the new Primus and the new Cybertron? Or is the Matrix of Chaos in Megatron's body going to get poured out in the chamber of the Oracle, destroying her, and thereby making Oricris the brand new body of the Chaos Bringer himself? One of those 3 things are going to happen. That's kind of where we're to. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Big M. Hey, Galaxy. I know that you got a name before. I know you got a name after it, but the Galaxy is what stood out to me, man. Depends on what? Depends on studio making the game and for which streaming platform. Fair enough. That's fair. Good riddance of more console. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Dragonfly. I'm so glad Dragonfly's here, guys. Dragonfly has had a rough 48 hours. Rough 48 hours. Guys, send him all the positive vibes you can to him and his family. I'm surprised you're here, buddy. I'm glad that you're here. I hope things are improving for you as the day has worn on. Yeah. I get it, man. Let's see here. And I'm going to be skipping some stuff here as I try to remember. I haven't eaten yet, so not bad. Thanks. I have a 3-day weekend. Nice. 3-day weekend's always nice. You got to love that. Wasn't the price for his tank 300 US? Yes, it was 300 US. Yeah. Now it comes with the driver, and apparently it's going to come with like a couple of more like figures or something. So I don't know. I'm not into the 6-inch line, but it looks good. I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. Yeah, creepy skip anime girl transformers. I'll get the barf bags. Yeah, it's not for me. Hey, Ashley, or sorry, Ash. I don't know why I keep saying Ashley. I think it's because it's the Ash Bailey, and I see the Ash and the Lee, right? I really want the Prime that comes with the stand. You know what? Why not? Like, I get it, Ultra Marcus. Like, when I saw that Optimus, or when I saw that Ultra Magnus, like, it wasn't the Ultra Magnus for me, but I did review it, and I said, you know what? I really like the Optimus in here, to be honest with you. I think it's a pretty great Optimus. So, I get it. I understand why you'd want that. Same problems with some of the 1/16th scale figures. The sets these days, they're not made for people with any morals or decency. No, like, it's like, do these engineers, like, is there something subconscious going on with them? Like, are you in your mom's basement by yourself? Do you need an outlet? You know what I mean? Like, is your design your outlet? I don't want to say too much, but you get where I'm going, right? You get where I'm going. New Age milking the cow, but I mean, like, I get why New Age would. Hey, Zoran, had an idea for an upgrade for Earthrise Optimus. If I need to design to transform, what? I need to be designed. Okay. Well, I hope that it works out for you, whatever it is you're designing. I'm feeling better. Yeah, I would say Starscream Wife is pretty much back to her old self. I would say I'm probably at about 92%. Like, I'm almost there. I still have a little bit of, I'll say, phlegm, like way back in my sinuses, like way back. Every now and again, there's a little bit of a cough, but it's funny. We done the live show here on Wednesday. I woke up the next day, fever, man, fever. It was not fun. I was not a fan. I gotta say, it's not a joke. A lot of people who have been like, "There's no big deal. It's just a cold." No, man, it is not just a cold. That's not true. I'm a healthy guy. I'm all vaxxed up. I'm not on any medications for anything, and it was rough. So if you are somebody who's like asymptomatic or whatever, like, good, I'm happy for you. But it's no joke, man. It's no joke. I'm lucky. I'm glad that I'm feeling better. Hey, Triple R. Triple R. Speaking of which, now that I'm on the road to recovery, I'm gonna be looking next week at my buddy Justin from 3D Corner, and gonna be making moves on that Leo. That Lyle Kaiser. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm glad you sent me those links, man. I am very glad that you sent me those links. AOE and TLK designs are annoying to make as Transformers. They are. They're definitely very different. I'll say that. Shatterglass Optimus Prime. Hey, Trents. TFCon, can't wait. Have been way too long. I mean, I'll never ever get to any of these cons. I feel bad because, like, people are like, I go every year and all this stuff. And if you can, don't take for granted how fortunate you are. Don't take for granted that you're able to do this, because there's a lot of us that will never, ever, ever, ever get the opportunity. We just won't. It's the way life goes. So don't take it for granted. Personally, I just like the basic Nemesis Prime with black with red windows and green paint here. And I like Nemesis Prime too, but I mean, Shattered Glass is not Nemesis Prime. It's Shattered Glass Optimus, right? It's a completely different guy. He's a maniac, right? Nemesis is more of a herald of Unicron, as where Shattered Glass is an interdimensional, I guess, bad guy version of Optimus, right? But I get it. I get what you're saying. MMC might be the only third-party company you might like. No, I like MMC. Unique Toys I always liked. I don't. X-Transbots isn't for me. I respect it, and they've come a long way. I don't like Fans Toys at all. Nothing about that company appeals to me. Fans Hobby, I respect. I really do. I don't have any of their stuff, but I respect them. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot, but the ones I like, I really like. Perfect Effect, DNA Design, Dr. Wu. I mean, there's ones I like for sure. Let's see. The included pizza cutter doesn't make Hot Rod a Voyager. No, that's the other thing. People are like, but what about all the stuff with him? Do you realize all the stuff with him? He's only 77 grams, right? If you take all that stuff out, the guy's only about 68 grams or something. Like he is no way a Voyager. But we've talked that to death. I'm not going to go back into that. We've talked it to death. That definitely jumped down there. Let's see. MFC is the best chug based. You're right. You're right. For something that would go with your chug, you're 100% right. I agree. Remember, only you can start Constructicon fires? What? Only you. Boy, that was ugly. For the Combiner Wars Titan. Me too. Me too, personally. That trash heap. Oh, man. Wasn't that rough? I looked at that Supreme class thing, and that's rough. I'm going to tell you, tomorrow is the Legends class one with the 7 lads. I had high hopes for that. There was a time when I thought about getting that Legends Devastator, the green and purple repaint version. Boy, oh boy, did I dodge a bullet. It is not, I'm going to tell you now, it is not going to score well tomorrow. It is not going to score well tomorrow. What happened to Dragonfly Celtic? Long story. Long story. But it's just been a series of unfortunate events, and I tell you, fiction couldn't write it weirder. Let's see as we go down here a little bit. GotBot might not agree, but Blitzwing is a great figure and fun to mess around with. I don't know if Blitzwing is or isn't. I know that in looking at him, I don't see a leader. I know that he has one hell of a backpack. I don't know how that affects his stability standing up. Like, I have a lot of questions about Blitzwing, and those hands, they're garbage. Like, they're not even worth putting in the package. What a waste of plastic that was. It's utter garbage. I don't know. I'll need to. Here's the thing, Jay. Come to me when I've had a chance to know what the numbers and the facts are, because that's how I make a determination. It has nothing to do with if I like it or not. What does the facts say? Like with Astro Train, the numbers and the facts, it is not a Voyager, a leader at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, that's the objective. It's not. It was not a leader. It was a Voyager. It was an acceptable Voyager, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the transformation. I didn't like the little short thigh and the long leg. And when he sat down, he was basically sitting on his shins. I just didn't like the Astro Train. But in terms of objectively speaking, it was fine, but it should have been sold as a Voyager without all of that junk included, right? So the Blitzwing, I can't say. It doesn't, I'm thinking it's an uphill climb for him, but maybe I'll be wrong. I mean, I thought that Galvatron was probably only going to be a Voyager, an uphill climb. But when it came down to the numbers and I looked at it, no, he's a leader. He's a true blue leader. It's all there. Maybe Blitzwing will be the same thing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. My family got the Big C over the holiday weekend. I feel you, Ken. I feel you, man. I get down here a little bit. Sludge is good, but I had to tighten the screws on his knees. That's a small fix. I mean, I'd be okay with that. I know I see a lot of people are getting their Sludge. Mine is not. In Canada, it's not scheduled to release until August. So I'll be shocked. I don't expect to get it before then. I really don't expect to get it before then, but I guess we'll see. I'm a big New Age fan. New Age is great if you're a Legends collector. Like, New Age is, I can't even say a Legends collector because they're smaller than Legends. They have a place. And they have different sizes. Some of it's Legends. They're weird. Their own scale is weird. I think you can incorporate other companies like Iron Factory, for example, with New Age, but it got to be the right pieces going together, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to get real use from Triple R. Absolutely, buddy. We go down here a little bit. If I'm missing you, hey, Cars. I like the guy. I like this guy. Only speaks facts when he crunches them. Listen. That's what I try to do. It sometimes it ruffles some feathers. Sometimes I'm surprised. Sometimes I ruffle my own feathers because I really want to like something. And sometimes I've even said, if you watch my reviews, sometimes I've said, look, I love this, so I want to give it a 9. But objectively, it's only a 6 or it's only a 7. It's hard. It's hard when you're trying to be truly objective and use those metrics of what is actually mathematically factual. Sometimes it gets hard, because you got to try and separate those biases, and it doesn't always work out. But man, oh man, do I certainly try. Hey, input. And I know I'm skipping some stuff here, guys, and I apologize for that. Yeah, a lot of people are getting their sludge from Amazon, is my understanding. Zoran. I think because I started with New Age, I feel that they are the standard, and everyone else is bigger and less quality. I can see that, Ken. Honestly, I could honestly see that. I'm going to order the new SS Galvatron from Amazon. The new SS Galvatron has nice paint, but I feel like his whole chest is too square and blocky and flat for me. But I mean, that's a personal aesthetic choice. It's not a matter of him being bad. I think aesthetically, I prefer the Age of Extinction one, but I understand that a lot of people would say, no, I prefer the new one. That's cool too. Getting a thunderstorm warning. That's rough. Yeah, take shelter. I'm with Zoran. Take shelter, man. Blitzwing is going to shock you. He might. Maybe he will shock me. I asked you if he was better than Astro Train. You said he was. Now, I'm happy with my Titans return. Happy-ish with my Titans return. Are there things I'd like improved on it? Sure. Will this one be the thing to improve it? I don't know. We shall see. Hey, Maximal 10. On the bus home, some Wi-Fi all crap out on you. I get you, buddy. I picked up Sludge the weekend. It looks great, but the legs are loose legs on him. A lot of people are saying that. That makes me sad because Sludge is my boy. He's my favorite Dinobot, so that makes me sad. But if all it takes is tightening a screw, I'm okay with that. It's not the first time I've tightened a screw. I was looking at some Digibashes on Tumblr, and most look hilarious. Yeah, I don't really use Tumblr, or sometimes I see Digibashes if they come up. A lot of times I don't understand why somebody colors it the way they do, but sometimes I do. Oh, man, this Blitzwing is like Roddy. I can't wait to see your review. Is it like Roddy, though? Is it? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's get back into the news. If I've skipped anybody's comments, man, I apologize. You know that I try my best to make sure that I get everything here, right? I'm excited for Snarl. Let's get down to that. Let's start getting down to that. I got a bit of news to cover before we get to Snarl, but we're on the way there. So, Buzzworthy. We have 2 things that have been shown in package for Buzzworthy: Evil Predacon Pterosaur and Heroic Maximal Dinobot. I find it very interesting that on the package it says that. The Dinobot packaging seems to be a little more Legacy-like than the kind of traditional Buzzworthy Bumblebee packaging. These obviously will be exclusive to Target in the US. They will be exclusive to Toys R Us in Canada. If you didn't get the, I'll say, cartoon-colored version of Pterosaur, the golden disc version, I think it's a great mold. I adore the Air Razor mold, so I'm going to say get it. Do a custom paint job if you want. I mean, I done it on the original. There's no reason you couldn't do it on this if you wanted it to look animation accurate. I'm not going to get that one because I do have the golden disc one, so I'm good in that department, but there's nothing wrong with it. The Dinobot mold is great. I already have it twice. I don't need it a third time, and I don't need it with that weird, like, looks like uncooked chicken color. But some people will say, hey, that's the Dinobot I had when I was a lad. I want it. So, again, I can't say not to get it because it's a great Dinobot and it's a true blue Voyager. So I get it. It's not for me, but I get it. What else do we have here? Oh, we got some, I don't know, information, I guess, about the MP57 Skyfire. The thing is going to be 35 centimeters tall. Seems about right. 41 centimeters long. I assume that's in plane mode. That's a long plane, but again, it makes sense. 42 inch wingspan. That's a big wingspan. if you're going to display him in plain mode, have some ample space because he's going to be a big, big boy. Apparently, he has excellent articulation and a simple transformation. I'm intrigued to see this simple transformation. I'm really, really intrigued because that's a big claim to make about a Jetfire. We'll see. Again, I'm not an MP guy, but if you are, it'll be interesting to see what you think of it in comparison to Fantoys Phoenix. If I was an MP guy, I could tell you now I would be getting the MP because I don't like Phoenix. I don't think it's well done. I don't like it. I didn't find it stable. I didn't like the transformation. It wasn't for me. So if I was an MP guy, I would be getting the MP. I'm cool with my Siege. I have two of them, actually, the Shattered Glass and the official. So, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But it's fun to watch it. It is fun to watch the evolution of this Jetfire and see what people think. By the way, we also had a listing of what seems to be another Buzzworthy Bumblebee Deluxe. Some people said, oh, well, that must be the Pterosaur. No, apparently has a different number than both the Pterosaur and the blue streak, silver streak. There you go. It's not going to be Dinobot because that's a Voyager. So I don't know what this other Buzzworthy Bumblebee will be. I assume it will be some mold repaint, reuse. Probably. You want to know what I honestly think it's going to end up being? I think it's going to be a toy accurate version of Tarantulas. I think that's what it's going to be, but I have no evidence to support that. None at all. But for some reason, I got this itch in the back of my head that says it could be a toy accurate version of Tarantulas. We'll see. We'll see. Certainly don't go anywhere and say, hey, GotBot said that the Deluxe Buzzworthy is going to be a toy accurate Tarantulas. No, that's not what I said. I just said something in my head says it could be, but I have zero evidence to support that. Symbiote Studios, they're the ones that do all the plushies. They are doing a Hound and a Shockwave. They look great. I don't know if you collect plushies, then you can get another Autobot and another Decepticon if you want. Legacy Soundwave. We saw some more images of him. It's the Siege Soundwave, except he doesn't have the dirt on him and he's more expensive and in a Legacy box, right? Again, just to clarify, they're using the Siege mold because currently Walmart still has kind of a hold of the Netflix mold for that. Maybe it will expire soon. It seems like potentially the Bumblebee mold hold has expired because Goldbug is using that. Maybe they should have waited and done Bug Bite a little bit later than what they did so they could use that mold and just throwing it out there. So yeah, it looks like that, they've lost that one. Maybe they'll lose some of the other ones that they have a hold on, and eventually we can get another Netflix Soundwave, more widely distributed, done better, doesn't yellow, all of those pipe dreams, right? We also had confirmation of MP, I'm going to call it Black Lio Convoy. I don't know what it's called. It's like Amber or something, and there's a 13-page manga comic or something that goes with it, and apparently it's actually Lio Convoy now in black. But anybody who is a Beast Wars fan knows that they'll use this as Nemesis Lio Convoy, right? Again, I'm not an MP guy, but I think it looks really beautiful. I think it looks very, very sleek. I know Input is in for it 100%. I know that he's a big fan of it, so it definitely has a mark, and I think it looks beautiful. Not for me. Let's get to Studio Series. Studio Series 86 Snarl confirmed via a listing finally. There has been so much talk, and so many people have said for so long, oh, we're getting a Snarl. I'm going to tell you now, this is the first confirmation with any evidence at all that we are getting Snarl. We have gotten evidence for every other Dinobot, and we were waiting on something official other than fan hope that we were getting Snarl. The closest that we had had to actual evidence before this was the Hasbro team saying that they would do the entire Dinobot team. But they didn't really clarify what that meant, right? I'm glad they're doing it. What I'd heard is that it could be Legacy, but I'm glad that they're putting it in Studio Series 86. It should be in there. He was in the movie in 2 scenes, split second, I know. And when he was there, Swoop wasn't. I get it. But all 5 of them technically did appear. I can't wait to see what Studio Series 86 Snarl looks like. Can't wait. Now, some people think that that's going to come before Swoop. That's not what this said. It was just a listing for it. Nothing said it's coming out before Swoop. Sludge is making his way out now. The next one is supposed to be Swoop. Now, could Snarl jump him? Possibly, because Snoop was originally slated to be the third release, and we all know how that worked out. So we'll have to wait and see. But yes, so glad that that entire set is going to be done. That is going to conclude the Dinobots for me. I'm done. I'm out on Dinobots. I don't care what they ever do. This is it for me for Dinobots. And I couldn't be happier. Speaking of Studio Series, there's a lot more that kind of came up this week, including Leader Class Oscar, which is Scourge from the upcoming Rise of the Beast movie. Leader Class Cyclops, that, of course, is Optimus Prime. Well, I talked about both of those leader classes a little while ago. Deluxe Titan, I think that's Air Razor. Core Class 86 Ratchet, easiest pass for me. I saw it and I was like, why does this even exist? And some people said, this is great. I'm going to get it right away. Why? Ratchet's not that small. It's not a great looking mold. It's really not a great looking mold in vehicle or robot. I'm sure, some people said it's a great little desk bot. I think it's a waste of $20. And here's the thing. There was a time when I wouldn't have cared. I would have said, okay, it's weird, but cool, whatever. Unfortunately, I feel like Hasbro has gotten to a point where they have wasted so many resources and so much money on so much junk and raised prices to such an astronomical, idiotic amount that you need to now look at every opportunity to cost cut in your company. And putting out a $20 in Canada waste figure is not cost cutting. I can guarantee you here that Ratchet is going to rot on shelves. I can guarantee you it'll rot on shelves, just like Ravage and just like Shockwave is rotting on shelves. Why? Because nobody cares about it. Now, does that mean there's no market for it? No, there's a market for it, all right. People that like desk bots. Some people have said, you might be able to get it for like a young fan or something. That will totally depend on the transformation. Like the core class Hot Rod. I don't know. I mean, that could be a little fiddly, right? So I don't support this Ratchet. Sorry, I got to be honest. I don't support this Ratchet. What else do we have? We have a confirmation of Deluxe Bumblebee for the Rise of the Beast line. Apparently, that's going to be the car Bumblebee again with his like off-road roll cage and stuff. So it's not going to be an off-road Bumblebee. He's still the car. It's just now he has like a roll cage and big tires. Apparently, that's what this Deluxe is going to be. We'll see how that works out. And we also have Voyager Cheetor from Rise of the Beast. Studio Series Voyager Cheetor. I find that interesting that in Kingdom, we got that terrible Deluxe version. I'm interested to see what this Voyager Cheetor looks like. And Apollo. I'm wondering if Apollo is a codename for Tigatron. Maybe. So it's nice to know that we are getting finally a lot of Rise of the Beast listings for Studio Series, for mainline stuff, because there's been a lot of gimmick junk that we've seen so far. Nice to know that Studio Series is going to cover Rise of the Beast. It looks like a lot of these listings are slated for 2023. I suspect we're going to get it in probably late 2022. We'll see. Or at least the US will probably get it in late 2022. So we'll see. But that's a whole lot there. There was also a Generations Studio Series, speaking of Studio Series, Deluxe War for Cybertron Bumblebee and War for Cybertron Barricade, or WFC Bumblebee and Barricade. Some people have speculated that this will be something that harkens back to the High Moon games. I mean, it could be. I feel like if it harkens back to that, it would harken back to Rise of the Darkspark, because that tied into the movie specifically. I tend to think that what's more likely is that they worked something out with Netflix to include that as like a mini series or something in Studio Series, which then brings up the question of, well, if you're expanding now outside of the films, then what is Studio Series anymore? They're weird listings. I don't necessarily think it's going to be video games, but we'll see. I don't know if Barricade was in any of the High Moon games. I assume that this will be some version of Last Night Barricade. Myself and Caldeo were talking about it. I feel like you're going to get like the deluxe barricade that was Earthrise, somehow repainted, maybe slightly resculpted, a different head. I feel like it's going to be derived from that. But again, I really don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no earthly idea what that could be. We're still not done, though, with Studio Series. Studio Series Core Pink Bumblebee Laserbeak. One of the most troubling, disturbing, horrific, I would say, scenes in Dark of the Moon to me was when Laserbeak took the form of that pink bumblebee and approached the door and asked the little girl if her parents were home. That sent chills up my spine because movie Laserbeak, whatever you want to say about the movies, movie Laserbeak was one of the most sinister, evil Decepticons I've ever seen. Exponentially, as far as I'm concerned, more diabolical than G1 Laserbeak, who was a minion. This Laserbeak was diabolical and frightening. So, yeah, if you're going to do a core class Bumblebee, do it as the pink Laserbeak. Why not? I talked about the core 86 Ratchet, and I said, no. And some people said, hey, maybe Hasbro is seeing the popularity of Legends class and trying to kind of, get in on that market. Right after looking at that, go and look at the Magic Square Ratchet, which is also Legends class. I get it. The Magic Square Ratchet costs more. But if you're going to be a Legends collector in the Legends game, then you're probably willing to spend a bit more because that's the only thing you collect. There are people out there and that's all they collect. So they spend a bit more on it because it's all that they get. And they want a definitive version of the character. The Magic Square version of Ratchet is exponentially better than the 86 core. It makes the 86 core look like something that you would find in a dollar store. It makes it look like something from the Authentics line to me. I know Ninja Bill loves the 86 core and he says he's getting it. Easiest pass in the world to me, especially when you see it next to the Magic Square. So again, to each their own, of course. You do you, but for me to get behind core, it has to be something that makes sense at core. But that's just me, and that's the way my collection goes, right? You do you, and if you want that Ratchet, man, you do it, and don't let old GotBot tell you not to. Let's go up here a bit and check in with you guys before we kind of finish off the news and do our trivia, and then we'll do the unboxing, right? Yeah, okay, I can leave that there. Let's see what you guys were saying up here. Hey, Shanzi. Gotta go up here. Hey, Grimlock Gone. Gotta go up here a bit. Bear with me a bit here, guys. Let's see. Love for the product versus reasoning for the product. It's really interesting, Marcus, that you say that because I am hard on Hasbro. I'll give credit where credit is due when it's due, but I don't find it's due very much anymore. And I have gotten more critical. You're right. When people say, GotBot, you've gotten more critical of Hasbro, you're right. Because when I was looking at a deluxe and it was an investment of me of $15, well, I'd let it go because it's $15. But when a deluxe now is $40, yeah, I'm going to be exponentially more critical. I'm going to be as critical of that as you have been with putting up your prices. You know what I mean? I love Transformers. I don't love Hasbro. I just assumed the company went under. I couldn't care less if they sink or float. Couldn't care less. I care about the franchise. And people have said, well, if Hasbro went over, the franchise would die. Wrong. What would happen is the trademarks would lapse for things like Mask, for things like GI Joe, for things like Transformers, and probably to cover investor debts and whatnot, those trademarks would go sold off to someone. I just want another company to handle it. Simple as that. I'm just ready for another company to handle it because or for Hasbro, for somebody there to get, their screws, tightened in their head right and realize, okay, we need to reduce costs. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you can't raise prices for the next 15 years. You've done 15 years of raising prices in the last 2.5. That's where I'm to with that company, right? So I'm loyal to Transformers, not loyal to any company. It's like my car. I tend to go to the same guy because he always does right by me. He knows I'm not going to haggle, and he knows not to try and pull the wool over my eyes because I'm not into BS. I'm not that guy, and I'm not playing games. I don't have the time or the interest. So he is a straight shooter with me right from the start. The minute I feel like he's not, and he knows this, the minute I feel like he's not a straight shooter with me is the minute I walk. And he knows it's a guaranteed sale. All he got to do is be honorable with me. Simple as that. And that's all I ask from any company. We should all do this. Give me your best product at the most competitive price. Duh. It's not rocket science. The Blitzwing is Roddy, loosey goosey. I'm excited for Snarl, though, if he's not if he's not shortchanged and as big as the others. Oh no, he'll be as big as the others for sure. Oh, 100% he'll be as big as the others. There's a screw in the knee, just tighten it. There you go, guys. If you got loose legs on Sludge, tighten the knee screw. Jay just gave you the fix. Do it. 10-hour shift, maximal 10. That's rough, man. Speaking of cut, I made an OC of Fall of Cybertron. Interesting. As we go down here a bit, and I know I'm skipping some stuff, guys. Bear with me. I thought that color was uncooked pork. It might be uncooked pork. I was saying chicken. It might be pork. The other white meat, right? How many centimeters is Siege Jetfire? I don't know offhand. I really don't know offhand what it is. If somebody knows, I don't know what he is in centimeters offhand. I don't know what he is in inches off. He's 12 inches, basically. He's like a Combiner Wars combiner, roughly. So he's about a foot tall. So what's that in centimeters? Somebody do the conversion. I don't even have my phone here to do the conversion. What's a foot in centimeters? Jetfire and simple in the same sentence. Yeah, I know. I'm a bit skeptical too, but we will see. Anyone still remember Transformers were also in department stores? What a crazy time that was. They're still in department store. Well, you know what's funny? Remember department stores? Because we don't really have many of them left in Canada. Sold my Siege version to get the MP version. Sold your Siege version of what to get the MP version input? Simple transformations and Masterpiece do not go together. No. Hey, Shansi. I think I might have said that earlier. As we go down here a bit. Movie figures are more complex because of their look. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. But I have skids and reboost, and I transform them both in less than 5 minutes. Nice. Yeah, everybody seems kind of excited about Snarl. Got a pre-order. There you go. I figured you would input. I assume you're talking about that, like that Nemesis Lio convoy. I think Bug Bites. What? I think Bug Bite new design would be good. Yeah, it would. I don't think they're going to do it, but it would be good. Nothing too nothing too exciting, but I picked up a Sandstorm a few minutes ago. Nice. Hey, Devlin. Thundercrackers in stock on Amazon. I assume you mean the Studio Series one. Get it. It's great mold. It's wonderful mold. Love it. As we go down here a bit, I know I'm skipping some stuff. I need to see the core Ratchet transformation to give my final thought. I don't like the robot. I don't think the robot looks very good myself. I have the Magic Square Ratchet ordered. That's all I need. There you go. Ken got it. Ken got it, buddy. Hey, Solid S. It's been a while. No, man, look. You got a life lead, buddy. I am just a nerd who's here for, an hour and a bit on a Thursday. Barricade and be in Cybertronian forms from the game? I don't know. I find it hard to believe that it's going to be a game. I find it could, but I don't know. We'll see. Something to ponder. Something to ponder and think about. Have to get that Laserbeak. Laserbeak was an assassin in the movie. That's right, which is why he's terrifying. I got Studio Series Devastator as a KO because I had no love for Hasbro, right? There you go. 30.48 centimeters. There you go. Lance just did it. 30.48 centimeters. So about the same height, really. Right? The MP is 35. So the MP is slightly taller. What's sad is that Hasbro yellowing issue and current price increases and me being kind of unimpressed with Legacy is beginning. Yeah, I mean, like, I can see the end game for me. Not in terms of the channel, not in terms of what we'll do on here, but in terms of, you know, wasting my money on Hasbro stuff that should be definitive and then, like, it breaks or it comes misassembled or it's yellowing or it's overpriced or whatever. Like, your business practices aren't good. You're not a good company. You're not a good company. And anybody who thinks you're a reputable, good company is only looking through a very, very small microcosm. And I would suggest to you only looking at your activities in the United States, because internationally, your profile is not good and it's not getting better. Oh, Siege Jetfire. That's why you were selling the Siege Jetfire, to get the MP Jetfire. I got you now, Input. I got you now. I didn't decide either Generations Fall of Cybertron or War for Cybertron Siege Seekers would make Cybertronian jets for the Seekers in a Cybertronian series. That's a lot. I have my original Prowl, and the whole chest and legs are die cast. Yeah, right. Way back when, right? Way back when. Siege Jetfire is great, but the MP version isn't cheap. No, the MP version isn't cheap. I think in Canada it's like $350 or something, plus tax, plus shipping. Diecast is a lost art. You're right. Diecast is lost art. Okay, let's finish the news here a bit. So, live action Transformers series for Paramount Plus. Anyone? I mean, I'd be cool with it, but I'm not buying another streaming service. I don't even know if you could get Paramount Plus here. I do know that a lot of stuff that comes on Paramount Plus in the United States ends up coming on Space, or, well, it's CTV Space Channel or something like that now, or CTV Sci-Fi Channel. CTV bought everything, and, like, they changed all. Like, Comedy Network became CTV Comedy, and, like, Space became CTV Sci-Fi or some junk like that. I don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't hold my breath for it. I think the money for Transformers needs to be rolling in a lot more than it has before a production company is going to, you know, hemorrhage money in a live action series. Bumblebee was a good start. It was a cute movie. Everybody's like, it's amazing. It's not. Like, there was a lot more that could have been cut out of the Bumblebee movie. Like, John Cena did not have to say, there's a door in my way, and then they blow up the door. You know, dude, you could have just went over and opened the door. All of the stuff with Bumblebee in the house destroying everything, it wasn't funny. It was annoying and made him look like a puppy rather than like this super advanced sentient robot. Like, all of that could have been cut. So it was far from a perfect movie, but it was okay. It was a fun little ride. Let's see how Rise of the Beast does. If Rise of the Beast does really well, then they might have a chance. But I'm going to say this. If you want a comparison, think about that live action GI Joe Lady J series. Don't know what I'm talking about? That's because it's in production limbo with headache and roadblock after headache and roadblock, especially after GI Joe Origin Snake Eyes bombed. I never even saw it. We were going to go to the theater to see it. We went over to the theater. We had a plan to go see it, and it was at a theater. It was in there for like a week, and that was it. That's how badly it bombed. Maybe one day, but I wouldn't put much stock into it yet. I just don't think that the money is there to warrant it yet, honestly. Universal Studios apparently is getting like a reissue of the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Bumblebee. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why it's getting that. We also had some descriptions. I found this interesting. Descriptions for Core 86 Rumble. Apparently he's going to come with the two blasters that like goes on his back. He's going to come with his pile drivers. Please let him turn into a cassette that will actually be able to work with Soundwave, with like the Siege or the Legacy or whatever sound. Please let him do that. Please let him do that. Please let him be based on something akin to the little guy that came with Blaster, right? Rewind. please. Otherwise, I'm going to keep my Titans Return to turn to the little tank lads because I didn't really. I have actually that's a lie. One of the scraplets has the siege ones, but they got no elbows, and that bugs me. So we'll see. I'm hopeful for the 86, but we'll see. We'll see. Apparently, though, they're going to be 3.5 inches. Find it really interesting because for years and years and years, a deluxe was 5.5 inches, and a Legends was, about 4 inches, 4.5 inches. Now all of a sudden it's 3.5 inches. So they're getting smaller. They're getting smaller. Before you know it, a core is actually going to be more like a Cyberverse or more like a Legion. Remember Legion class? They were smaller than Legends class and had no knees, no elbows. Oh, you don't remember Legion class? Watch tomorrow's review because even though they call that Legends Devastator, it is definitely a bunch of Legion class offerings. We also had Legacy Inferno announced, man. Now, this is my Inferno, and I heavily customized this guy. I think the new one obviously looks like the cartoon so much more, except for some reason his bug butt doesn't turn into 4 sections, and the blaster or thruster thing that's in here goes in his hand when really in his hand it should just be this little blaster. Am I going to get the new one? I don't know. There are things about this guy that I love, but things about him that I do not like. No dedicated bicep swivel, no wrist swivel, no ankle tilt. I've always found his knees a little bit loose, especially for the weight on the back. And while I like his head, I always wanted his jaw to be able to open and close. And apparently the jaw on the new one does open and close. I like this, but I was never 100% satisfied with it. I need to see the size of the new one. I need to see exactly how sturdy and balanced it is. But is it going to replace this guy? I don't know. We'll see. There are things I like about it, but there are things that I'm not sure about either. So time will tell. I love this guy, but he might be due for an update. As well, we saw kind of this guy. Now, Input talked a lot about it. And really what we have is a Legacy Voyager. I think it's Voyager. Armada Starscream. And a lot of people said it's this guy upsized, much like the Earthrise Seekers were upsized from the classic Seekers mold. I don't know. I really don't know if that's the case here. The wings are a completely different shape on the new one than they are here. I don't know if these pieces on the new one come up over like they do here or not. I don't know. It could be, but I feel like it's a whole new mold. Maybe it is. That being said, this doesn't belong to me. It belongs to one of the scraplets. I'm not getting this. I didn't get this. He got this. I don't care about Armada Starscream. I don't care about Armada. I'm not getting Unicron Trilogy stuff. But for me, this guy's good enough. If you are a Unicron Trilogy fan, then probably get the new one. Why not? He looks really good. This is an example of, I think it's going to be a great Starscream. I think it's going to be about the right size generally. If you're a Unicron Trilogy fan, hey, get it, and I'm happy for you. It's not going to be for me because I'm not the market for it, right? Like I think Caldeo, you're probably somebody who's a good reference here. You love Unicron Trilogy stuff, so this might be a Starscream right up your alley, right? I can't tell you not to get it. I really can. I'm not going to tell you not to get it because he looks great. It's just I don't need it, right? Then we also had apparently a rumor of a Voyager Metalhawk. Now, I have from the box set the Titans Return Metalhawk. That was a deluxe. I think this is a great mold for the inner robot of Metalhawk. Some people have speculated and said, I think the Armada Starscream is going to be used for Metalhawk. I tell you, I tend to think that the G-Axis is going to be used for Metalhawk. Could be the Starscream, but I don't think it's going to be a new mold. But I feel like it's going to be a heavily molded G-Axis. Maybe I'm wrong. Do I need it? I don't know. I love this guy. I really do. I was really, really happy with this. And I love the Trigger Happy mold. I have a Metalhawk. I don't know if I need another one, but you never know. If it's good enough, maybe I'll replace this guy. I don't know for sure. He was part of a box set many years ago. Maybe he's due for an update. I like Metalhawk, so cool. I'm glad they're doing them. It's a bit out there again, but why not, man? Why not? And And last but not least, apparently we saw a listing for leader Straxus. And everybody lost their mind. Don't lose your mind. Word is that it is basically kind of a mistake in the listing, and that in reality it is probably a reference to the Transmetal 2 Dragon Megatron. That being said, if even the name Darkmount or Lord Straxus is being entertained as a possibility, might be in for that. Might be down for that, man. Honestly, I could see it being a remold of Galvatron. I really could. This guy's cool. I'm glad to have the Baird of Darkmount, right? But I mean, it's not the best mold in the world. It's cool. It's all right. If I never ever get another Straxus, I'll be happy with this guy for sure. But do I see room for improvement? Absolutely. Time will tell. But before anybody gets their hopes up real high, and I don't want to be the dude to dash it. Apparently, it's a reference really to the Dragon Megatron. I hope that's wrong. I really, really, really hope that's wrong and it's Straxus. But time will tell. I'm going to do the trivia, and then we are going to do the unboxing and get out of here. So, and I've been here a little bit longer. Our kids came back today after being away from us while we were sick. So my wife is down kind of hanging out with them. So I don't mind taking a little bit extra time. Okay, so first things first, the trivia here. And I like this. I think this one might be a little bit challenging. We'll see. And there's a bit of a bonus question that I'm going to kind of ask after. The first piece of new music for Transformers Season 3, besides for the revamping of the introductory song, right? With the theme song. Outside of that, the first piece of new music that was specifically done for Season 3 of Transformers appears in which episode? Was the first piece of new music for Season 3 in Five Faces of Darkness? A. Was it in Carnage in C minor? B. Was it in hold on, I gotta find my place here. Carnage in C minor, B. Was it in Forever Is a Long Time Coming? C. Or The Killing Jar? D. So was it in Five Faces of Darkness? Was it in Carnage in C minor? Was it in Forever Is a Long Time Coming? Or was it in The Killing Jar? Which one? I'll also tell you that it appeared in an episode of another series. See what you guys come up with while I check in here with the comments. Diecast doesn't hold up over time, though. I was making Beast Wars callback. Yeah, it was the Beast Wars line. I kind of want the new Armada Starscream. And there's nothing wrong with it. I know I'm not the target market for the Armada Starscream, so I'm not mad about it. It looks great for anybody who's a Unicron Trilogy Armada fan, right? I'm sure that Triple R is going to get it just because it's a Seeker, right? And I'm sure that Deluxe is going to get it because it's a Starscream, right? I stick it to Hasbro every chance I get for something messed up. I contact them and they send me something. And if I don't have it, I keep it or sell it. That's fair. You can get Paramount Plus through Amazon Prime. Oh, okay, right on. The diecast minifigs have some real heft. They do. I reviewed them last Friday. My family exchange. What? My family exchanges streaming services, access iPay. Yeah, that's right. And a lot of families do stuff like that, Anthony. Or they'll have a streaming service for a few months and then they'll go to another one and another one, change it around. Can't wait for what? And I can't wait for the Leverage redemption on Ion. I've seen the first season. I don't know that show. Free streaming, cool. The Joe movies are terrible, and I try to like everything, but not those. Yeah, they're rough. Still haven't gone to Universal Studios. Why would Hasbro do something smart like make the Rumble be retrofit with previous figs? I don't know. I mean, one can hope, right? Think they'll make a Micromaster Swindle for a Legacy Armada Starscream? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have any idea what you're talking about. But my guess is no, since the whole Micromaster thing was deemed a failure. I wouldn't hold my breath for minicons, but you never know. Well, Legion Devastator. Oh, that Mixmaster. Poor. Not even the Mixmaster. You'll see tomorrow which one it was that did it for me, because I do Mixmaster first because he's awful. But oh man, and here's the fun part. I opened the package because Maximal 10 didn't even have the package open. Like, it was still in the ties and everything. And guess what? I see absolutely no instruction booklet at all. So I was just trying to figure it out as I went. Plus, I'm sick. It went bad. It went bad. You'll see it went bad. Inferno definitely will be an army builder. Imagine if Megatron had an Inferno army. Oh, yeah. I don't see any of this being able to be an army builder. Like, the Inferno's going to be $50. If I wanted 4, that'd be $200. No, I'm not that insane yet. My pass on Blitzwing and stick with the TR version. That's what I've been thinking about doing. Watch the Riots of Beast Wars Inferno become a Target Red Card exclusive. Probably. Wouldn't shock me. I'm guessing the Red Cons are Target exclusive. I don't know. See, again, we lost Target. Oh, man, do I miss Target. Are we sure that the Metalhawk isn't based on the IDW 01 look? It could be. Input, you could be right. I didn't even know the Metalhawk was in IDW, because remember, IDW is a garbage company, and they done garbage, and they done Transformers dirty, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. If that's the case, then I'm out. I'm gonna keep the one I got. Speaking of Straxus, what did you think of your lore on Straxus? I got to be honest, Keldeo, I haven't had a chance to read all that. You got these big, long biographies that I'm not going to remember everything to it. I do an entire stop-motion series, and I don't have biographies for characters like that because I'd never remember it, right? Detailed. I'll give you credit where credit is due, but there's so many of them that you sent that they all just sort of mashed together for me. I can't pick them apart. I'm old, man. I'm old, dude. I have a bad feeling about that. Season 3 score. I got to go up here. There we go. CBBBB. Blue Raccoon is saying D, B, 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 C, D, and GI Joe. Tracer's right. D and GI Joe. Yep, Tracer's right. He got it. It was in the Killing Jar, which is D, and it also appeared in, or certainly a snippet of it, appeared in the GI Joe episode Secondhand Emotion. So there you go. Good for you, man. I didn't think anybody was going to get that one. Good for you. And Anthony got it too. Look at you guys. Good for you guys, man. Good for you guys. Because I knew that was a bit of a weird one, right? Okay, so let's do the unboxing and get out of here. My first answer was right. Your first answer was right. Yes, it was Blue. You also had it, buddy. And I got a box. It was actually not from BBTS, which is interesting. That was in a BBTS box. It came from our buddy Ultra Megatronus. And I did have one on pre-order that I guess it will not need now, which I could tell you right now will go to another collector, somebody locally, and I'll do right by them because now I won't keep the extra. I'll help another collector out, right? It is one that I do not expect until June, and it is this guy, Junk Heap, better known to some as Junkyard. I guess they couldn't get the name Junkyard. I've had him out, and I've transformed him. I have also bent the horns on his head. They're okay now, but I did bend them a bit. Look, I adore Wreck-Gar. I adore this. It's such a good mold. Such a good mold. Interestingly enough, I was like, I wonder how animation accurate this guy is. And I looked at the animation, I'm like, not really animation accurate. I'm like, why then? But what he is a mix between the Floro Deary, I think it's his name, design, and then what ended up being the final design by Toei Animation in I think season 3. So you had like these two versions that came together to give us Junk Heap. It's so weird. He's going to be one of those that's going to be hard for me to score in terms of his look, because are you going by the character model as it was in the cartoon? Are you going by as it was in the movie, which was a little bit different than the season 3 cartoon? Or are you going by what Floro Dairy did, or some melange of it all? So we'll see how he fares when we review him next week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to an hour and 20 minutes. I've been here a long time. I got to go eat my supper, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us, and especially don't forget, for whoever needs to hear it, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, man, each and every single one of you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres. And don't forget, I am steadily working now on Universal Collision Season 2 finale. I'm going to be getting into Season 3 right after that. To have another visit the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.